In the quiet moments between one heartbeat and the next, there exists a complex and stirring art, the art of saying goodbye. It is neither abrupt nor simple. It is a gently woven tapestry of endings and beginnings, of tender memories and cautious hopes. In this exploration of farewells, the narrator leads us on a reflective journey through the various ways we part from the people, places, and pieces of ourselves that once defined our existence. Each goodbye is as unique as the life it touches, bearing traces of sorrow, gratitude, reflection, and even quiet joy. Through a sequence of personal reminiscences, candid observations, and evocative imagery, the story unfolds like a timeless elegy, inviting us to consider that every ending holds within it the seed of transformation. The narrative begins on a cool autumn morning when the world seems both still and in motion. Leaves, painted in hues of gold and crimson, flutter away in delicate spirals as if to bid their own silent farewell to the season. The narrator recalls a memory from childhood, a moment when the simple act of watching falling leaves evoked a deep awareness of impermanence in the heart. In that subtle dance of nature, there was an unspoken message: just as the tree sheds its leaves each year, so do we let go of what no longer serves us. This natural cycle of renewal and decay mirrors the myriad ways we say goodbye throughout our lives. It is in these fleeting moments that the narrative finds its first truth. Every farewell, however small, is a gentle nod toward life's eternal rhythm. As the story unfolds further, the scene shifts to the poignant departure of a beloved friend. There is an atmosphere heavy with unsaid words and lingering glances, an ending that is neither dramatic nor bitter but filled with a quiet acceptance. The narrator describes the day with meticulous attention to detail. The soft murmur of conversation among onlookers, the bittersweet touch of a farewell hand on a shoulder, and the warm glow of shared memories that refuse to be dimmed by the sorrow of parting. The goodbye, though steeped in sadness, was also an acknowledgement of how deeply intertwined their lives had become. In witnessing this farewell, the narrator discovered that endings are not voids but rather incubators for new chapters. Each farewell subtly preparing the heart for future meetings, be they with old souls in a new form or entirely different lives altogether. The narrative then transitions to a more introspective exploration of saying goodbye to phases of life that have defined who we once were. In one reflective passage, the narrator walks along a long-forgotten street in a small town, a place where time had slowed and the echoes of childhood adventures still lingered on every weathered wall and cracked pavement. This street, once vibrant with the laughter of youth and the promise of endless summers, now stood as a silent monument to change. The narrator's steps were measured and thoughtful, a physical manifestation of the internal process of bidding farewell to a former self. It was an awareness that life is ever fluid, continuously challenging us to shed outdated dreams and beliefs in order to grow. The street, with its faded signs and whispering winds, became a symbol of the fragile beauty inherent in moving forward and accepting that every goodbye paves the way for reflection and rebirth. Not every farewell is marked by monumental events or heavily sentimental scenes. There are also the small, subtle moments, each one a quiet brushstroke on the canvas of our lives, that signal the need to let go. The narrator recalls the gradual realization that some old habits, once a source of comfort, had become chains that tethered aspiration and self-discovery. In these moments of self-awareness, saying goodbye was less about external farewells and more about an internal revolution. The realization came not with dramatic fanfare but with the soft insistence of routine moments gently demanding transformation. In the dim light of early dawn, the narrator found solace in the idea that every habit relinquished was a silent invitation for reinvention. It was a courageous act to close that chapter, allowing the past to rest so that the future might emerge unburdened and unconfined by its shadows. Through these reflections, the narrative comes to embrace the concept that every goodbye is a gesture of courage, a tipping point where the heart chooses to trust the inevitable course of change. The narrator recalls another chapter when the decision to leave a long-held identity behind felt like stepping off a well-trodden path into an unknown wilderness. Here, the act of letting go was not born of resignation but of a profound understanding that staying tethered to the familiar could hamper the blossoming of one's true potential. In this journey of transformation, every whispered farewell to an old self was celebrated not as an act of loss, but as a triumphant leap toward an unpredictable, yet rewarding, future. The gradual fading of the past becomes a necessary sacrifice, ensuring that the space for growth remains unchallenged by the inertia of what once was. Yet, the narrative does not confine itself solely to the sadness that goodbyes can evoke. Interwoven with the melancholy are vibrant threads of hope, resilience, and the promise of new beginnings that follow every moment of farewell. There is a scene, bathed in the gentle glow of dusk, where the narrator watches the horizon transform as the sun retreats, leaving behind a sky splashed with the colors of transition. It is in that liminal space between day and night that one finds the quiet promise of tomorrow. The goodbye to daylight is not a lament but a silent vow that darkness, too, has its own beauty and significance. The interplay of light and shadow becomes a poignant metaphor for life's transitions, where every ending is paired with the anticipation of a radiant, uncharted dawn. In an evocative twist, the narrator revisits personal accounts of goodbye that concern the severing of ties with long-held dreams. In one such chapter, the narrator recalls the bittersweet moment of relinquishing a youthful ambition, a dream that had once soared high with the promise of greatness but became encumbered by the harsh winds of reality. The farewell to that ideal was not marked by dramatic gestures. Rather, it was an honest, almost tender acknowledgement that dreams, too, evolve. The narrative reflects on how the dream was gradually reimagined, its raw edges softened by the passage of time, ultimately transforming into a more mature and resilient form. In letting go of one version of the dream, space was created for another to take its place, a testament to the inherent adaptability of our aspirations. This metamorphosis is depicted as a natural evolution, where the act of saying goodbye to one layer of our identity enables us to embrace the multifaceted nature of who we are becoming. As the narrative draws near what might be considered its gentle conclusion, it circles back to the overarching theme that goodbyes are not finality, but rather essential milestones in the continuum of life. Each parting, whether it involves farewells to a cherished companion or the quiet adieu to an old habit, holds a mirror up to the human condition, a reflection of our inherent need to both cling to and release what we value most. The narrator masterfully interlaces these observations with the notion that life, in all its beauty and unpredictability, is a series of cyclical departures and returns. In every goodbye there lies an invitation to open ourselves to transformation, reminding us that every termination carries with it the silent promise of a new opening. In the soft, lingering light of a secluded afternoon, the narrator contemplates the quiet dignity inherent in these moments of parting. A nearby park, resonating with the laughter of distant families and the serene rustling of trees, becomes the setting where the abstract idea of farewell is made tangible. The gentle murmur of life continues unabated, even as old chapters close with a graceful finality. The park, with its meticulously trimmed hedges and winding pathways, symbolizes the structured yet unpredictable nature of our departures. Every step taken along those paths mirrors the gradual process of letting go, the delicate art of releasing attachments, of trusting that even as we say goodbye, we remain fundamentally connected to the ties that define our existence. There is an undeniable beauty in the multiplicity of farewells that we encounter. Each is imbued with its own flavor, a mix of regret, acceptance, and hopeful anticipation. The narrator invites the audience to consider that the art of saying goodbye is not reserved solely for moments of profound loss, but is woven into the very fabric of our everyday lives. A farewell might be the silent nod to the past as one leaves a familiar place behind, or it could be the resolute act of discarding a habit that no longer aligns with our true selves. These acts of parting, no matter their scale, are imbued with a quiet power. They encourage us not to be afraid of change, but to see it as an essential companion on our journey towards self-discovery and fulfillment. As twilight deepens and the day's final light fades into a gentle obscurity, the narrator lends a reflective tone that reverberates with both nostalgia and resolve. The canvas of the evening sky, streaked with indigo and hints of amber, serves as a poetic reminder that every ending is a prelude to a fresh beginning. In the suspended silence of that moment, it becomes evident that our lives are constructed from a series of gently unfolding closures, each one necessary for sculpting the person we are destined to become. It is a powerful insight that goodness, in the form of these myriad goodbyes, is not an end in itself but a transformative gateway. One must learn to honor every farewell with the same sensitivity and courage as one welcomes a nascent day. This story, narrated with delicate conviction and vibrant imagery, ultimately reveals that there are 1,000 ways to say goodbye, each one a silent sonnet to the human spirit's ability to endure, evolve, and rise anew. From the farewell to a close friend whose presence once defined the contours of our world, to the quiet internal reckoning that compels us to let go of outdated selves, every goodbye is both a tribute to what was and an overture to what is to come. The narrative stands as a meditation on the beauty of impermanence, the honest and courageous act of releasing the past, while simultaneously making space for hope, renewal, and unexpected joys. In this reflective journey, the art of saying goodbye emerges as a powerful metaphor for life itself, a continuous process of transformation where the interplay of loss and hope etches the lines of our stories with wisdom and empathy. It invites each one of us to embrace our own farewells with a tender resolve, knowing that every small goodbye is an essential step towards self-realization and the embrace of a brighter, more authentic tomorrow. As the final light of day recedes into memory, the narrative leaves us with the enduring truth that even in the act of bidding adieu, there exists an undeniable grace, a promise that every ending carries within it the impetus for a new, unfolding beginning. Thus, in the soft murmurs of everyday life, in the fleeting touch of a hand parting from another, in every quiet moment of introspection at the threshold of change, we find ourselves not mourning the loss but celebrating the beauty of transformation. Every goodbye, whether whispered in the sanctuary of solitude or experienced in the interplay of shared hearts, is a testament to our remarkable capacity to adapt and grow. In the delicate balance between what is left behind and what awaits us, the narrative serves as a gentle reminder. We must honor our past, treasure our memories, and trust that beneath every farewell lies the seed of a new bloom, a new way to say hello to life. In the final analysis, the myriad ways of saying goodbye become an essential part of our intricate human tapestry. They encapsulate the bittersweet symphony of our days, where endings and beginnings dance in harmonious contrapuntal rhythms. The story leaves us embracing our vulnerability and our strength, understanding that each parting is not marked by despair, but by the quiet courage to allow transformation to take root. The heart, illuminated by both loss and hope, learns that the art of farewell is ultimately the art of believing in tomorrow, a tomorrow where every goodbye, however subtle or profound, opens the door to 1,000 new ways to welcome life once again.